Hello everybody! Welcome to class 2 of the ArchiCAD 23 online course. In this class you see the project preferences. Open the template file. Here we have the template AGA available in the class files folder. And if you work with an ArchiCAD that isn't the international version, open the file of PLA extension. And I will soon explain the difference between PLA and PLN files. In this template we have projects presettings. It's a base file for you to start the project. This template was developed along many years according to the work method of mine. You can make adjustments to your method and save your own template if you will. To save it, go to File, Save As, and choose the option ArchiCAD Project Template. So you can overwrite this existing template. Inside the template, the first time you save clicking on File, Save, it will be saved as a PLN file, and the template will be kept unchanged. So let me show you one of these predefined settings. Clicking on Document, Pen Sets, Pens and Colors, you can see some phases of the project, and the color pens fitted to be used from 101 to 140. And going to Construction Tools, here in Toolbar, you can see them using these pens. So here on Floor Planning section, you can see the predefined pens using the appropriated cut line thickness pen. So you can use it in cut elements and outlines. So for every single tool here, you can see these configurations. Now, let's speak about some incompatibilities that may happen depending on the version you are using. So the first thing, if you work in educational version, when you open my files made in a commercial version, a message asking to convert it in an educational will be displayed. And you need to note that converting a file to educational version, it cannot be undone. The good news is that the only difference in educational version is a mark that appears here in the sheets. So here you see a mark written educational version. And another important thing is that educational version files do not open in commercial version. Relative to Mac users, there are small differences on graphic interface and shortcuts, but in general, things are all the same. I will give you two examples of incompatibilities and how you can solve it. The first one is relative to languages. My files in this course were made in international version. And if you use your local version, for example, French, German, Brazilian version, you must open the PLA files because this extension saves all the objects used in the project inside of it. And besides that, it avoids an incompatibility of missing surface textures. In this image, you see what happens in this case, with these purple squares indicating the lacking of textures. So, to avoid it, open my PLA files. But if you have the international version, use PLN files. They are smaller files because they read the library objects in folders located in your computer. The second thing is about the numerical version of the software. Here I am using ArchiCAD 23. You can't open an ArchiCAD 23 file in previous versions, like 22 for example. a possibility to open in 22 version is saving as ArchiCAD 22 file. You should note that ArchiCAD saves only one version before the actual. So clicking on File, Save As, you can see that it's possible to save the ArchiCAD Solo Project PLN and ArchiCAD 22 Project PLN, just one version before. Another situation involving numerical versions is if you are working on ArchiCAD 23 and want to open file from ArchiCAD 21, for example. You can open it, but it's necessary to do the migration of libraries. So let's see how it works. Go to File, Libraries and Objects, Library Manager. Here we have Embedded Library that incorporates some objects like trusses, custom doors, and windows. We have ArchiCAD 23 Library that is a linked library located at the ArchiCAD installation folder. And in case of opening a file from a previous version, you need to do the migration of libraries. So click Add, and I will search for the folder where ArchiCAD is installed, C, Program Files, Graphisoft, ArchiCAD 23, ArchiCAD Migration Libraries, and I will choose, in this case, ArchiCAD 21 Migration Library. So here, I will keep the ArchiCAD Library 23 and use the migration of 21 version. Click Reload and Apply, and OK. Here I won't do because it's not necessary. Now we learn about project preferences. Click in Options, Project Preferences, and here the first option we're going to see is Working Units. We have settings about length unit, and I like to work in centimeter, but you also have meter, decimeter, feet and fractional inches, and so on. And for each option, we have the number of decimals to be chosen. Here I'll keep 2 decimals. Area unit, I use square meter. Volume unit, I choose cubic meter. Angle unit, I work with decimal degrees. You also have degrees, minutes, and seconds. Layout unit, I use centimeter. And for numbers without units, you can define the numbers of decimals. Okay, continuing with project preferences, we have in the list, here in Options, Project Preferences, we have in the list 6 menus from Dimensions to Style Rules and Standards. And clicking on Dimensions, inside this window, you can navigate through each menu here in the list, or clicking Next and Previous. So starting on Dimensions, I have this dimension set, save it as AGA Dimensions. I have the option of rename, delete, or create a new set. In these icons, I can see the different dimension types: linear dimension, angular dimensions, radial, level dimensions, elevation, door, window, and skylight dimensions, sill height dimensions, and area calculations. So here in linear dimensions, I can define the unit, decimals, and extra accuracy. So here, for example, I will keep centimeter, decimals will be 0, but I can choose 0.5 extra accuracy. You can see here in sample the example of it, and it becomes a custom style. So I will save and overwrite AGA dimensions, store as, and I will type AGA dimensions. OK, I will overwrite. So here I have the new set saved, and after that I have the option of hide 0 rows and hide 0 decimals, and the witness line scalability. I like to work with fixed option because it keeps the dimension texts always with readable sizes. Going to the next. In calculations, units and rules, we have the dimension options to be defined for length, area, volume, and angle units. So it is the same settings, but now for calculation units and rules. Next, we have zones. Here on toolbar at the left, there is the zone tool, and it is a tool to make colorful areas representing functional sectors or something like this, and it can display the areas. So here we define the rules of it. If it will consider the recess in walls, or the openings of doors and windows, or subtractions in walls and columns, and how it will be done, and area reduction under low ceiling. Next, we have reference levels, and I will keep project 0. After that, we have legacy, where we have the line types for objects above or below home story. And finally, stair rules and standards, and I will keep and show you more details about this in the stair lessons. Then the first thing we need to start a project is set the project location. Go to Options, Project Preferences, Project Location. On ArchiCAD, it is very important because the coordinates determines the sun position that will be applied on renderings and in the solar study video. First, the project name, click Edit, and here I'll type Orlando House. In this project info menu, below I have other informations that I use it in approval projects on City Hall here in Brazil, so it is in Portuguese. And changing here the informations, they are updated on sheet projects. So it is very efficient. I click OK. Here I have the site address, so you can type the street name, number, postal box, city, country. And we have latitude and longitude. I'll keep these numbers. And here you have the hemisphere definition, north and south, west and east. And we have the time zone. Here I am in Brazil, so I keep Brasilia. And altitude sea level. And here you can define the project north. You can type a number or even define it graphically. And at the end you have the option of showing Google Maps. So here I can see the coordinates of my project. And here I am in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I'll come back to ArchiCAD. So this defined my project location. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Until next time, bye bye. Hello, welcome to one more class of the ArchiCAD 23 course. In this class, you'll see a little bit more about work and